Welcome in, everybody. Let's dive right into it. Okay, the newest show to grace our screens, courtesy of Amazon Prime, is Fallout. Oh my god, is it fun. It's so much fun, you guys. It's a TV show adaptation of the beloved Bethesda game series of the same name that's been popularized over the past 2 decades. The first game came out in 1997. It's been around a hot minute. And it's got a stunning cast, a compelling story. It does not conflict with or contradict any loose or solid canon from the stories of the games, and it's an overall marvelous adaptation. Now, we've had a fair amount of adaptations, spin-offs, inspired shows over the past couple of years, right? We've had House of the Dragon, Five Nights at Freddy's, Halo, Rings of Power, The Witcher, a couple of Star Treks here and there. Although, I still think the Orville is probably the best of the new Star Treks. Funny enough. And The Last of Us. Now, most of, if not all, of these franchises, including Fallout, either come from a game or an established franchise that has already been an absolute mammoth in the entertainment industry. But one thing that these all have in common is that they went big. Either big in failing, just entirely, or in absolutely succeeding beyond expectation. And the biggest contrast would clearly be the likes of the Halo TV show and, well, almost anything else mentioned that was actually good. But why exactly do shows like The Last of Us and Fallout blow things like Halo and Five Nights at Freddy's out of the water? Well, not only are they faithful adaptations, Last of Us choosing to follow the story of the games, and Fallout opting to tell a story beyond the game's timeline entirely, but they gave us something that no one expected. They had an X factor to them. I mean, they were loyal to the games, but they also gave us more than just a carbon copy of their franchised namesake. I mean, across the board, we got some very appropriate character progression. I mean, you can tell the actors received some damn good direction of not only what's going on with the scenes and the characters, but basic line delivery. Like, if you watch Halo, and I'm sorry if you did, but oh my god, it was unbearable. It just, basic line delivery was just god awful. And it hurt as a theater guy myself. I'm like, this is basic stuff, dude. You gotta get this down. And I blame the directors just as much as I blame the actors, because the director can only push the actors that they've been given so far. Right? It is the actor's job to portray things appropriately. And Five Nights, Halo, Rings of Power, just stinkers, man, on basic things. But with Fallout, it's 98% nail on the head. Perfect. It is perfect. It's stupid fun. I'm really trying to do as spoiler free a not really a review, but a almost an ad pitch for it. But again, nothing can quite take you out of the feel of a situation like a serious line being delivered very unconvincingly or a moment that's supposed to be packed full of emotion that just ends up going on either too long or falling flat. But The Last of Us, it was a great expose in the complexities of relationships, overcoming fears and complacency, as well as some pretty fun pseudoscience and action scenes. But needless to say, they did that by getting the basics down pat. Now, Fallout, scary monsters that we get to see in really great close-up detail, a dystopian world where no one really knows the rules of society anymore, in which, seemingly anything kind of goes. We have the hardened evolution of one character, Lucy, who goes from being naive and wanting to have everyone kind of get along and be cordial with one another, to facing some really harsh realities about what monsters in real life really look like. And I'm trying to be as spoiler-free as possible here, so I'll leave you with that. But needless to say, you do need to have a faithful storyline and characters and all the details and so on. But that's just the base. That is just the foundation for what is needed to make a show like Fallout. Of course, the actors need to be great, and man, this cast. I mean, Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins, Kyle MacLachlan, Aaron Morton, even Michael Emerson is in this. I don't think you could have had any other cadre of actors that pulled this off as well as these guys did. I mean, it was pretty damn fun because of all of these fantastic actors. But does Fallout have anything that just really sets it apart? Makes it outshine any of the shit shows like Halo? Well, in all fairness, the story and the world themselves are the structures that the show uses to be fun. And it makes it kind of a mystery-filled thrill ride, Now, for those of us who have not played all of the games and aren't keen on every detail, haven't kept up with almost 30 years worth of backstory and lore and all that kind of good stuff, you can watch this show just fine and not miss out on anything that's crucial. The show will explain to you everything that you need. But I think apart from the world in which the show resides, the backstories to everything that we get, I think if we're looking for an X factor here, I think that the direction and the actors' portrayals of everything really do it. I think that there's your X factor. And it is really nice to see Walton Goggins in something that's not a comedy. He's done some serious roles before, but it's not what he's remembered for, I don't think. At least not what me and my friends remember him for. But kind of going back to that basics diatribe that I went on, there are lines in this that are just ridiculously funny. There are lines that are threatening. There are lines that end up becoming catchphrases that foreshadow very lightly and with a decent amount of subtlety. And to do that, you need the right people and some damn good writers as well. And I fully believe that this show has both in spades. But I also think that the success of Fallout portends something much more than just a season 2 or 3 or even a 4. I think the grand success and overwhelming reception of the show, as well as the success of things like The Last of Us and The Witcher, I think we could see the rise of even more video game to TV adaptations that could be absolute bangers. Could you imagine a Metal Gear or a Red Dead Redemption adaptation series? Those would... Oh my gosh. If they are done with the same level of care as Fallout, then I think we've stumbled into a new wave of great adaptation series that will probably net us, if I'm going to be honest, a really good show 7 out of 10 times. And those 3 that do fail are, like I said, failing hard. Rings of Power, Halo, Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's a tragic thing because they all do come from such beloved franchises. But, I mean, you take what you can get, right? They're not all going to be winners. Though I really think, and it's because it's the camp I was born in, I really think that after the crumbling of the Star Wars franchise empire that it once was, the fans are dead tired of bad adaptations. Which is another reason why, if you watch, say, the new X-Men cartoon, X-Men 97, it is a great continuation of the show that came out when I was a kid. I mean, it's everything that you want from the comic book runs of the 80s and 90s. But its director was fired for having an OnlyFans. Now, why a show director at Marvel Animation needs an OnlyFans is a bit of a blur of a question to me, but people are really wanting this guy to be rehired because of his work that is clearly superior to a bunch of other, dog piles that we're getting right now. I mean, I used to have such hope for shows like The Bad Batch when it came to animation. Now, I've given up hope. Man, like some stellar animation, cool characters, everything else is just garbage. It's terrible. But X-Men 97, oh buddy. Again, I don't want to spoil things for you guys. Just go watch it. I think there are 7-8 episodes out right now. It's really well worth the watch. Whenever it first came out, I went to the store, grabbed a family-sized box of Fruity Pebbles, and watched the first couple episodes, just like I was a kid again. It was pretty fun. So yeah, people are needing directors of shows to be visionaries, to understand source material, to stay true to where these stories are coming from. And it's going to be the same with the eventual season 2 of Fallout. The only thing I'm really hoping for is more than just the 8 episodes that we got in season 1. I know these cost a lot of money to produce, to put out there, but, they turn out to be hits, and I think that deserves a little bit more cash. But, hey, that's just me. Well, that is all I have time for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stick around for more Sci-Fi Unchained. But for now, live long and prosper, my friends, and may the Force be with us all.